So you ended up working with the late Sean Price, like you were saying. What was that relationship like?
There's a story I'm saving for my book. I have told the story to Bernadette. I told the story to Rock Ness. I think I told the story to Rusty Jux back when Rusty Jux and I made an album in 2018 called Jake and the Jux Man. We did an album together. Me on the beats and him on the mic. But I've told this story to a few people and they've gotten great laughs out of it. But I once waited 6 years on a Sean Price verse. There's a really funny story that, like I said, I'm going to save that one for the book. But to your point, Sean came. So what it basically boiled down to was where my old studio was in Manhattan. My studio was in the basement of that building, and there was a studio on the 8th floor. Shout out to my guy, Dan the Man. Boot camp and a lot of the duck down music from that era was all done up at Dan's spot. And so in that building, you'd run into different people in the elevator and things like that. And so I ended up meeting Sean in that building. And I didn't see him for a while because his daughter was born and he went on tour and things like that. But around 2015, it was probably early 2015. He started working on some music with my man Innocent. They released one music video. It's on the internet. It's Innocent, Rusty Jux, and Sean. It's called Silent Murder, and it's filmed at my old studio. I'm standing in the background somewhere with a Douce bottle. But anyway, Sean, I would say he was probably at the old Space Lab, maybe like 10 times, 11 times, somewhere in there. I never got to know him as well as I would have liked to, but, he gave me the phone number to the crib and, we did have some great conversations. One of my favorite memories of Sean Price was at my old studio in Manhattan. We had an A room and a B room. There was the big A room and then there was a smaller B room. Just a little control room and a vocal booth. And in between, there was a lobby. And, people would burn L's and things of that nature in that lobby. And so I was in between sessions. And Sean was there on his iPad. He was burning one. And there was a guy he was a friend of somebody else that was in the session. And this guy was drunk and was being loud and belligerent. And was going on about words, son. Yo, Hot 97 don't play. They're not playing the real hip hop. That's not where hip hop lives. And, he's just drunk yelling about it. And Sean's sitting there looking at his iPad. And the guy had been yelling for a couple minutes. And finally, Sean looks up and he goes, "Hey, they got these now." And he holds up his iPad. He goes, "You can listen to whatever you want. You ain't got to wait on Hot 97. He just goes back to, smoking and looking at his cartoon. But Sean Price was my favorite rapper of the modern era. And, from the time I was a little bit late, I didn't really get up on the genius of Sean as a solo artist until Jesus Price Superstar. So I forgot, I guess that was probably like 2006. Because I was still living in Tennessee when Monkey Bars came out. And there was because of record distribution the way it was at the time, there was just certain albums you couldn't always get down there. But by the time Jesus Price Superstar came around, Sean quickly became my favorite rapper because I loved any music that was gritty and aggressive, but was also smart and funny. And Sean was all of those things. And that's one of those things, too, in my dealings with Sean. He's hilarious. Like, he would have the entire room cracking up. And what I learned really quick is, like, he did not want to talk about the music business. Like, he would just, if somebody, like, tried to discuss the industry or something like that, he would just shut that conversation down and just not acknowledge you were talking to him. He wanted to talk about like comic books or whatever, Marvel flick he just saw or, stuff like that. But very cool. I was honored to get to, have a song with him. The last song on Jake Until You Make It album is Dikembe Palumbo featuring Sean Price. And, some of the music he recorded with Innocent, I think may still see the light of day. I don't know. I have nothing to do with how anything comes out, but,
I interviewed Illa G, and Illa G was saying like Sean Price was like a special one because he didn't like a lot of people. So if he rocked with you, it meant a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot to me personally. But just an amazing presence, just a titan of a presence.
Do you remember where you were at when you found out that he had passed away?
I woke up that day. I had just gotten back. I want to say I had just gotten back from Philadelphia, and I slept in that day. Like I didn't wake up till 12 or 1 or something like that. And I woke up to the news.
Man, that's unfortunate. He was something else.
Yes. He's highly missed.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace to Sean Price, man.